Hey my loves, welcome back to our channel. We are here with another one. I am here with my beautiful fiance Joe. I'm Zar from over at Zar Galore, which you need to subscribe to, as well as bust down and subscribe to this channel. Make sure you subscribe to Backstage Sports. And if you have not already, we are talking about all things Married at First Sight, right?
Yeah.
So I'm super excited. Am I? I'm lying.
No.
I'm not that excited.
Nobody's excited about this.
I'm kind of getting... Do you guys see our balloons deflating? Like, I feel like...
It's hard. It's tough. This is going to be a tough season to make it through.
This is going to be a tough season to make it through, so we're going to need your help. And we love you guys for commenting and everything like that. Miss Deborah is the GOAT. She always comes through and gives us such amazing feedback. And I love it. And I want to make sure that everybody's commenting because we want to hear your perspective on this as well.
Yeah.
So, let's go on ahead and get into it. We're just going to do couple to couple and just get through this. So, Clara and Ryan move in, or they get to see each other's spaces and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to see how annoying. I thought Clara was annoying, but I'm starting to see how Ryan is annoying.
Why you say that?
Because he was talking about all his deal breakers. Like, he can't sleep. He has to sleep in pitch dark.
Yeah.
And he has to be in bed by 10:30. And these are just non-negotiables.
Yeah.
And it's just like, when you get with somebody, and I feel like when you laying up in the bed, that's just not real life. Like, I have to sleep in pitch in the dark, right?
Yeah,
but
because
Joe
I can't. I need this. I need noise.
Right.
Otherwise, I can't go to sleep.
And that makes sense, right? So, and not that, like, I just gotten used to it. I've just gotten used to it. And then there's a time in the middle of the night where I got to reach over and turn the TV off or whatever the case may be. But, you know, you just adapt and you just make a way. Like,
but I think that's just one example of all of them in one way or another coming into this as single individuals and still thinking as a single individual and still thinking single-minded, still saying, like, the one, I don't remember who it was, but they said, well, you know, I go out every weekend, and so you can do that with me or you cannot, you know. And it was like, no, that's not how it works anymore. It doesn't
we're
work
going
like
to
that
air
anymore.
her out for everything. I just don't even understand why this child is even on. I don't understand why half these motherfuckers is on this season, and that's just keeping it 1,000. But I'm gonna save my producer notes for the end. So now the thing about Clara and Ryan though is that they sit there and they speak with Pastor Kyle. I'm just moving it along because I was bored. So they sit there and they talk to Pastor Kyle. And they talk about how, it was just like, I feel like, you know, it was a really good match. Even though Ryan described it really well, to be honest. He felt like if he had a list, he felt like it was going really well right now. And Pastor Kyle had to remind him, like, y'all will argue soon.
Yeah, like he said what did I say? I said slow down. And he said the same thing. He said, like, y'all just need to slow down, like, you know. Also, he kind of challenged them on, like, of course everything is hunky-dory and you've never had a disagreement, because he asked you, like, well, you know, have you guys talked about anything? Have you guys actually got right? So you can't,
y'all not even sleeping with each other.
Y'all not sleeping with each other, but also y'all haven't got to the point where y'all really even been having these deep, in-depth conversations about various things where you couldn't find yourself to come to disagree. So that's what I was saying in the beginning about almost everybody, like, just except for Paige and Chris, like, just slow down.
I just feel like I thought it was I'm kind of excited that Pastor Kyle is back, even though I don't feel like he did a goddamn thing. But you know what I mean?
He didn't do anything.
I'm going to get there.
And I think that we need to start really focusing and shifting blame onto production, because Pastor Kyle came back and did a lot of fake, like, surprise stuff to me. You know what I mean? Oh, wow. Like, when he said, Ryan said, like, Ryan said, I'd never been in love before or something like that, right? And
he was like,
Pastor Kyle, like, you didn't know that? You know what I'm saying? Either
who are these experts?
Either you're a bad liar and this is pitiful, or you didn't do your job and you should have known that, but you didn't know that. Either way, it's a bad look for the experts this season.
Somebody got some splaining
100%. 100%.
Because I don't understand this thing is off the rails. It's not even organized well.
No,
it feels
not.
So unorganized, so all over the place. But, you know, whatever. The thing is, him and Clara, Ryan and Clara aren't being intimate. And you could tell that she has some issue with that.
Oh yeah, she has a lot of issues.
But
with it.
is it me? And Joe told me no, and I know I did not go back and try to figure it out because so. But didn't she say that they were intimate already? Didn't she say that when they were in Vegas? They didn't want to say it in front of the group, and she had like this aside with the producers. I swore she said that.
I thought she just was doing a little giggle thing because she been, giving fellatio this whole time.
Oh, look at you using nice words.
Well, I was trying to couch it.
But no, like I feel like she tired, I'm tired, but this whole season is giving.
But I also think, with all that being said, out of everybody else, Ryan and Clara again seem like the strongest couple. Now this could be, obviously this is the. You know what? I
agree with that.
You
I agree with that.
It's not a great choice any way you look at it. You know what I'm saying? Horrible. Like, it's a rock and a hard place. But if you had to pick a couple that was the strongest, it would be Ryan and Clara right now.
I agree with that. I actually really agree with that. So let's move to whom I think is the next. Well, no, I was gonna move to the next strongest.
Who's what?
I would go Brianna and Vincent are the next strongest.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
I guess so.
Brianna and Vincent start moving in. They get to see each other's spaces and everything like that, which I thought was great. She's a young woman. She's beautiful. She's smart. She's funny. So she has a lot of clothes and everything like that. And they're just merging their spaces. And this was the part that kind of like, this was after they spoke to Pastor Cal, I believe. But he was trying to open up the champagne bottle. Mm-hmm. And it like spilled. Mm-hmm. Which champagne does. Like, let's not pretend like that's like such a...
No,
anomaly, right?
Weird, nothing weird happened.
And Brianna says, like, oh, that's such a Vincent thing to do. Now, she was saying it jokingly.
Yeah.
We can both agree to that. However, you all are still getting to know each other. Yes. So he's still trying to discern what's a joke and what's
not. Yeah.
So, as much as at first watch, I felt like he was being sensitive. Mm-hmm. But then when I thought about it, he don't even know you like that, respectfully. You guys are getting to know each other, and I'm with him. What the hell do that mean?
Well, it's two things could be true.
Okay.
A, he could be being sensitive, which I think there's merit to that.
Yes.
And two, he could be navigating a space that's foreign to him because he doesn't really know this person's sense of humor. Mm-hmm. So I think both those things can be true. And I think also there is an aspect of these little things, kind of compounding on top of each other, right? These little things, her little comments kind of festering and growing. And then he kind of had like, he was a little fed up because it's been small comments here and there for a while. And he felt like it seemed like to me, it kind of boiled over a little bit. So it was a little bit of that of him, his representative holding his tongue.
Ooh,
not really.
You could tell he got a little something is in there.
He Latin.
Stop saying that.
It's true.
Something is in there though.
They spicy. Men and women alike. They spicy people. And so he got a little, but he's also alluded to it. He said, "Yeah, I'm cool, but I can like flip my leg." Like, he's straight up like
on respect. Which the problem is that to Brianna's point, what does that even look like for you? Because does that mean I'm not supposed to joke with you or whatever?
He feels like she belittles him, and it's very clear to me why he feels that way. Because she is a very bossy, straightforward, direct. Okay. She doesn't really seem like she is used to having a man and having to kind of couch some stuff, dress it up nicely. You got to finesse men. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
as women, you know what I mean?
Yes, you do.
And so she doesn't have that yet. And rightfully so.
Oh my God, right? That is such a good point.
So that's what I think is the issue. And so she thinks, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong, because in her mind, she's not
talking to him the way
she's just living her life. Yeah, she's just living her life. But context matters, and she's not used to being in this. I don't think she's used to being in this situation, in this dynamic.
Yeah, she's talking to him like he a bro. Because I thought in the moment, I didn't think it was, not that I thought it was inappropriate, but I thought that to keep the moment going. First of all, people spill champagne all the time. That's why I didn't think it was necessary.
Yeah, it wasn't about the champagne.
Like, you know, but that was his issue.
Yeah.
Because my thing is, you could have stayed present in the moment, still had fun, drank the champagne, even cleaning it up seemed like she had an attitude or issue with the way it was being cleaned up or whatever the case. And it just was like, sis, live in the moment with this human being.
I think she just doesn't. That's another thing, is just getting to know your person. That's another reason why I was like, slow down. Like, you guys don't know the little things that might be their pet peeves, or might be a trigger for them, right? And so you can hit a tripwire because you don't know this person for real.
Absolutely.
So you also can't let it become a huge gigantic thing. This is really, in their situation, this is really just a small little trip in the road, because it's just a familiarity thing. Like, you have to realize that he doesn't like how you can typically come off. To him, feels like you're belittling him,
right? And
now he's kind of had that in multiple doses in multiple situations, so he kind of is as at his wit's end with it. Especially, and so you got to keep that in mind too.
Right. You're absolutely right. And he brought it up. So, like, when they sit down with Pastor Kyle, and this is previous to that actual moment, he actually brought it up that, like, sometimes she could be a little bit bossy. Her tone could be a little bit off-putting or whatever the case may be. And that gives him pause. And I think, and not to say that I don't think that this is 100% a her thing. Let's be clear. I think that he got some growing to do too. And he did say he was with somebody who made him feel like
it was a trigger.
Yeah. He was triggered.
Yeah.
He was triggered. And I feel like, you know, them speaking about it with Pastor Kyle was so important. But I also think that that's what escalated it at when they did the whole champagne thing. Because I think he felt like we already had this maybe-taking conversation.
Yeah.
And here you go.
Yeah, he did. He felt like I asked you, I talked to you about this before.
And I think I think it's also an image thing, and people got to understand this, and I say this all the time. You praise in public, you reprimand in private. Like, I don't want to air you out in the public or nothing like that. That's not where and let's be clear. I've come a long way, because there was a time where I would act up anywhere. So, you know what I mean? He know I would act up. It wouldn't matter to me. I don't care who was around. However, you grow, and you get to this space where I don't want our issues to be everybody's issues. And I think that that's how he felt. He felt like for her to say that in front of the cameras.
Yeah.
Exacerbated the situation.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's certain things I could say to Joe when it's him and I that I would never say to him if we in front of other people, just because I don't want it to be a little ding, 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 ding in the back of the head, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think for him, it's just, you know, he's navigating in a different space too, and having to get to know her, and having to get to know how he should even. To me, at times he seems uncomfortable even trying to deliver what his issue is, because he's trying to gauge like what, you know. So I think it's just a whole thing of like just a new space,
right?
For them.
And I also think that it's intimidating, and correct me if I'm wrong, because she's an engineer. I think that people have this idea. I was actually speaking about this with Jazz and Ryan last night. But people had it like, when you're, not to say that they aren't on the same level, I don't want to say that, but we were speaking about, you mentioned this when we were on vacation, how you could be with somebody, or you could be getting to know somebody, and you as a woman may make more money, you may be running at work, all this stuff like that, but your love life is here. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And when I say here, I mean all the way down here, if y'all can't see my hand. And what I said was, you could be a CEO in your career, but like an entry-level employee in love. Mm-hmm. And I think that they are both entry-level employees in love, but I think that he still might be intimidated by her CEO status here.
Yeah, and I think she also is coming in with
a
CEO mentality.
Right.
Like, do this, do that, da da da. And he like, whoa.
But you said that when we were on vacation, we were having a bubble bath, and we were talking, and you had mentioned that, like, you know what I mean? Some people present in a manner as if they got it going on, but the real tea is that we're here together.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like, you know, when you come into a relationship, you guys are both coming in as equals. You're not a manager. You're not a high officer. You're not a board member. you're not interviewing your spouse
Right.
in order for you to give them the job of being your spouse. You guys are both coming in at ground zero. You guys have both the same qualifications because you are not with anybody and you're looking.
Right. Neither one of y'all with anybody. So
there is no
right.
business transaction leverage, the leverage and all that.
I'm not saying you need to go date no bums.
Right.
That is not what's being said.
Yeah, I mean, obviously within the context of this person being your equal as you see fit.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like, it's not like you're a homeowner, you're selling a house to a person who is homeless, like they don't have a house, and I think a lot of times that's a hard thing for people to do, to put down their professionalism hat, their mindset, and come humbly into their relationship.
Yeah, and not exactly. You're absolutely right, and I want to be clear, not in a way where you gotta, oh yes, sir, what do you need, sir? No. Not like that.
In a way that you
but just to be a soft
half.
place to land. You know what I mean? And it's like, because we do have to be a certain way, especially as Black women in corporate environments. You do got to be a certain way out in the world. And matter of fact, I get. Look, I did this. Not like that.
Oh, no.
But I get bloop back in my space all the time. You know what I mean?
She's trying to give me cancer. Joe slapped me up in the head. No, I do not.
No, that's not what I meant a little bloop back in your space where you might say something and he whoa. And I'm like, what? He was like, what is going on? Like, are you okay? Like, you having a moment? Whatever the case may be. So, I do think it's something to slowing it down and being a soft place, even though I think she's trying to.
Yeah, and it's not even. It's a issue for both of them. Both parties, and generally both male and female, right? Like I have to check myself when I come into the house too. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not. I could be a rock star somewhere in a venue, but that ain't the situation here. So if I'm calling shots and telling people what to do and this, that, and the third, that's not that. When I get home,
you get your 11:38.
I have, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to change your mentality because that's not who I present myself in certain spaces. That might not be who I am in this situation, right? And so you have to make an adjustment, and I think that is just a part of being experience in navigating a space with a whole nother individual in a completely different capacity than what you're used to professionally, right? And so I think that's going to be a tough thing for her.
But I think they're going to be all right, though. I don't
know about that, though.
I don't know how you give Clara and Ryan more than that runway than them.
Because they, I think
they're going to be all right.
Because Clara and Ryan, they
gonna avoid it.
Yes. It's not a thing.
They just gonna act like it's not a problem.
Yes, it's not let's be clear. It's not a thing of I think they're a better match or a better couple. Yeah. It's I think that they will sweep the dirt under the rug better than anybody else that's on here. You know what I'm saying? Just like how they had no problems, quote unquote, no problems until they spoke to Pascal.
Right. And then it was like,
you understand what I'm saying?
Right. He straight up was like, if I probe you, I'm sure I'll find a problem.
And I think that if Pastor Kyle never comes along, they will not have any problems.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Now, eventually, 10 years down the line, it'll explode. We all know that. It'll explode. But for now, I think they are a shoe. And if I was a betting man, I would bet them against the field as far as staying together at the end.
I don't disagree, baby. I don't. Let's move on to... Let's do Haley and Jacob. Haley and Jacob had a tumultuous couple episode, okay? It was really up and down. When they first came back from Vegas, they were she rode in a whole different aisle than him, got herself an exit seat, and just needed some space from him because they were having a conversation. He felt like she lied to him about wanting to hang out and everything like that, and he accused her of dating and seeing somebody else. Mm-hmm. He makes me nervous. Like, something about the problem is I like Jacob.
A serial killer type nervous or what? Like
a little. I don't want to say, I hate the word controlling, but I kind of think he's a little bit. I don't think he's given it enough space to grow. I think that to say immediately that he feel like she into somebody else or whatever like that, I think that's presumptuous.
I think that was a bit of
I gotta sneeze.
I think that was a bit of a trigger that happened from a past relationship, which is what he kind of spoke about. I don't think he's controlling. I think he's mature and he's got put in a relationship with someone who was 10 years his younger than him. You know, like I think he's expecting things that he should expect from a equal
he's
partner.
Expecting communication.
100%. And
but I do think he come on a little bit strong. You don't think he comes like he said?
I think he's just direct.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because he said, when they came in the house, he was like, "Well, I don't know how long we gonna be here, because I like to deal with reality. You like to deal with Haley BS."
Because he kind of tired. Because you could tell he's another one who's kind of fed up. Like he's had it, and like let's talk about it. She did lie. She lied multiple times. She told him she was going on a girls thing, and it was the rest of the crew somehow, and she just said it so that he didn't go. You know what I mean? And so I think because he was cheated on before and dealt with little white lies that became really big lies, it was a trigger for him. Like, oh, she's lying already. This happened to me before. I understand where this is going. And he immediately was like, she must be dealing with somebody else.
Right.
But I think it's also a thing of maturity. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think she's not a mature communicator. She's not a mature spouse. She's not. She's not in the.
Correct.
You know what I mean? She's not in the same space. So he's fed up, which I think rightfully so.
I think you're absolutely right, but I do also think that like she do got to give a little bit more. I think that you would have thought he bust her upside her goddamn head, or tried to force himself on her. The way that she speaks about this relationship, it's like, well, I just need time. Like, you just offended me so deeply by calling you a liar, even though I hate. That's a big word. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes people do say things that might not tell the full scope of the story. But I think to call somebody a liar, that's a lot. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Especially when you're still trying to get to know them and I think that's a lot. But so I didn't like that he did that. But I do believe that you can only take so much of somebody giving you their ass to kiss, especially as an adult. And y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Where you're in a space with somebody and you're trying to get to know them and grow some affection with them, but they keep giving you their ass. It's only but so much of that. You might do it for a little bit, but then it's going to come a point where you're like, what the fuck is going on here?
And I think that's exactly what's happening.
I think
that's exactly what's happening. I think he fed up, and I think he's used to women showing up a certain way in a serious relationship at his age, and he's not going to get that. I'm going to just tell you right now, Jacob, if you're watching, it's not going to happen. You're not going to get it.
I just want her to just be straight up, though, because what's frustrating is that, and this is the problem that I think most people in past seasons have had, is that they want to try to
save face. Yes. This is what I've been saying for weeks.
Yes.
I've been saying they want to save face. I was saying it about Chris the other week. Haley is, but my point was that multiple people on this show have done this before.
Right. No, you're right.
They have not been real and been transparent about how they feel because they don't want to get castigated in the media, in the Twitterverse, on Facebook, on Instagram, because they've seen the show before and they see how people react to people who are straight up about how they feel in certain ways. If it doesn't sound good and fit them, it upsets the apple cart. They don't want to get raked over the coals. And I think Haley is doing it right now. I think she's doing the same thing. She's really
doing it. Because I like how Pastor Kyle kind of called her out when they were talking about how she's not affectionate. And he's like, I don't even know if I can give her a hug or not. And Pastor Kyle was like, you gave me a hug. She was like, well, I just don't do all that. And he was like, you gave me a hug when I walked in here.
So you're lying. You're lying. And the reality is, you don't like them.
But just say that and save us the time, child. Because I'm just about over this season because people. It's just the problem is that if Haley and Jacob was on the previous season, they wouldn't bother me as much. But because they on the season with too many, the whole season is just screwed.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit like, everybody's annoying to me, and including y'all. Like, y'all gotta go.
Yeah.
But let's move on to Virginia and Eric, because I'm gonna save Paige and Chris for last. For obvious reasons. Mm-hmm. But Virginia and Eric, this was kind of my favorite scene to watch, was them speaking with Pastor Kyle. Now they go see each other's homes. Virginia has cats. I think Eric just don't like cats. Eric said that he allergic to cats or whatever the case may be. But
Eric don't like cats, as most people don't.
I feel like, what do y'all feel about pets? Should she get rid of her pets now that she got them in? Should she? I'm allergic, not her pets, just her cats.
Yeah, because if you're allergic, then yes, y'all living together, and that's your man. He takes precedent over your cat. It's just.
I got a girlfriend right now, and I want to, and you know who you are because I want to say your name so bad, but because you my good girlfriend, I'm not going to say it. But her man, I'm gonna tell y'all her business though. Her man he still get like he has a little allergy to cats, and she do not give a damn. And he a cat daddy now. Like, he's a cat daddy. Like, he takes care of the cats. The cats know when he home. Everything like that. But she be like, you better go up there and take that Zyrtec and get the hell out of my face about my babies, okay? But you know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. I'm just not going to say your name because I love you. I love you. So, but I think it's something to that. Like, there are some people who aren't willing to compromise their babies.
They're not, but I think it's the bigger issue, and the broader theme of this season is a lot of them coming in not ready to compromise. Not ready to compromise.
I don't even think she like Eric.
Space. She doesn't. I think it's the same thing. It's Haley and Jacob. It's a little bit of Paige and Chris. It's the same thing. Even
though Eric is better than her. Let's be clear.
This is another situation of maturity. Obviously. He's not. He keeps trying to like bring her along on what a real relationship looks like, and she's struggling with it. It's like he might as well be speaking Chinese, and so she keeps trying to tell him, like, he's like, yeah, like if you just go, you out and you house hopping, like you need to like call and check in, or you need to like let me know that you're about to go off on a trip. And she's like, why would I do that? I'm an adult. You're single. You're a single adult. You'll be single forever with that mindset.
Let's talk about that though. So she sits down with Pastor Cal and her husband Eric, and Eric brings up the situation where she goes out or she brings it up, and he just wanted to know when she got to where she said she was going. Reasonable ask. Reasonable ask. Okay. So he just wants to know when you get, and she felt like that was controlling and outside the bounds of their relationship. Like he's overstepping his boundaries. How do you guys feel about that? Like I feel like if I go somewhere, Joe know where I'm at, who I'm with, what we'll text the entire, like throughout the night, whatever the case. But it doesn't feel like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like a task. It feels like courtesy.
Responsibility.
It feels like responsibility.
You are responsible to your spouse.
Period. And Pastor Kyle was sitting there like this, y'all, like.
Yes, because he's a married man.
And he could not understand it Eric was looking like.
Yeah.
Get her.
Yeah, and I think it's just a disconnect in age. Is this a disconnect in experience and maturity? It's similar to Haley and Jacob. And
except
again,
for worse.
My issue is this is not Haley's fault. This is not Jacob's fault. It's not Virginia's fault. It's not Eric's fault. Like we got to talk about keep production at the forefront
I think Haley
of the
would have been good with Eric.
I think no, she wouldn't have because they're still in different spaces to me. You know what I mean? And they'll. But I'm gonna tell you why. They're very similar in the age gap and everything like.
But she likes to travel. He's a pilot. He already travels for work, so they have that opportunity to go many places. But he don't mind being out of the home or whatever the case may be. He still got a young spirit.
She still wanna rip and run. He travels for work. He ain't trying to rip and run. I think there's a difference, right? And so I think that there's still an issue with the age gap. This is a production thing.
But I don't think everybody got to be the same age.
I don't think that either. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that here there's a clear issue in how they in the spaces they are in life, which has a direct correlation to their age gap. And I'm saying that that's an issue here.
They could be in
I'm not against all couples with age gaps. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that this is a big issue. They didn't choose each other, right? So like we know couples that have a couple years, they chose each other. They have commonalities and things that make them work, right? They are strangers being put together, and on top of that, there's an age gap where they're in different areas in life.
I don't think the age thing should be a big.
It is though. It is an issue.
No, I'm not saying it's not. Y'all bust down and let me know. I personally don't think. Since the dawn of time, women have been dating older men. They're doing the time. I don't think that that's a big deal. I really don't. And it might be
in the grand scheme of life.
In the grand scheme of life, I don't think it's a big deal.
We're not talking about the grand scheme of life, though. We're talking about Eric and Virginia.
I'm saying for them.
And for Haley and Jacob, it is a very clear issue.
I'm trying to figure out how Virginia got chosen. The biggest issue I'm having is that Virginia is a child. And Virginia, it was very clear to me that Virginia is childish. And I have such an issue with the fact that she was even chosen for this process. It's not even funny. She sat on a bed and told a pilot who told her he was going 15 days out of the month.
That she needs space. But that's what I mean. That's a maturity thing. You understand what I'm saying? That's a maturity thing. She's not.
What are we even watching anymore? Like, what?
The production did this.
Nobody. The issue I have with this is that it feels like of these 10 people, 4 of them wanted to get married. The other 6 was just some motherfuckers off the street. And it's really annoying. Because it's like, no, the things that these people are saying out their mouths is very indicative of people who do not want to be in relationships. Not even want to be married. You don't even want to be in relationships. You don't. I was talking to somebody and I tell my girlfriends this all the time. They like, oh, how can you be, because if Joe is going away, he got a gig. And I'm usually with him or whatever the case may be, especially now I work from home. So people are like, how can you just be around him like that? And I'm like, I like him. Period. I just like my spouse. And not because he's my spouse, but just because as a human being, I vibe with him. Like, we just vibe.
And so it's scary that people...
Y'all with people y'all
don't
like.
want to be around them. Like, that's scary to me.
But to even have to justify that to people is the most fascinating thing to me. Like, I just need somebody who will know when I come home, I don't want to talk. Like...
That's an issue in itself.
Ride around the block before you park.
Yeah.
But you have a responsibility when you come in the house. And I'm not saying that your spouse won't know. He knows. Sometimes I'm a little bit more anxious than other times. Or I'm feeling a little bit more overwhelmed or whatever the case may be. But it's your responsibility as the person who's feeling a certain way.
Yeah.
To communicate that.
Yes.
It's unfair to him if I'm just being snippy and nasty and this and that, and he has no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how. And I'm not saying I'm like the queen of successful relationships. Me and Joe fights, okay? But I'm just really...
this is basic stuff.
This is so basic.
Listen, let's be clear. This ain't about being Barack and Michelle in the bite. This is very basic. These issues are very basic. The issue of being responsible to your spouse and your household, you go somewhere,
I'm gonna need space
and checking in and being transparent about your whereabouts. Like, this is basic. This is not like
basic.
You got to be, a counselor, a couples counselor or anything like that. This is super basic stuff. And I think my thing is that it doesn't surprise me because of the obstacles, right? Like, I said that this was going to be an issue when I found out that she was 20 something, and just because she wanted to be in a space where she was bar hopping and she want to go out every weekend, right? So when I talk about the age gap, that's really what I'm talking about, being in different spaces, right? And how you expect
and their mentality, because her mentality is associated with her age. But the reality is, it is young women out there who are ready to settle,
mature and ready. Right.
However, her mentality is associated.
But expectations killed the cat. So it's also what somebody in his space of life, whether we talking about whatever his age is. His expectation is somebody who's going to be on his wavelength. Somebody who, when I asked you, let me know that you got there, it wasn't fighting words, right? So
which is crazy
to him because that's what his expectation is, because that's where he is in life. You know what I'm saying? It's not weird to me that that's where he is and she's in a different place.
It's not weird, but it was weird to Pastor Cal. Pastor Cal was like, what the hell is going on?
Of course.
When she said, well, sometimes I'll just go to my guy friend's house.
And just sleep on the couch. Oh, I get too wasted and I pay. The fact that you're getting too wasted around men,
is the problem.
But if you was ever in a real relationship with a real dude, you would know that, because you wouldn't be drinking your life away around dudes.
The issue I have with her, and I hate to bring this back to aesthetics, y'all gotta drink water. You look so worn out.
Yeah, she does.
To be a young woman, it is sad.
Yeah, you can tell. It's all over her face.
It's all over your face. You didn't have to tell us you was a goddamn alcoholic.
No.
We could see it.
Yeah.
Look at your skin.
Yeah, it's showing
I don't even understand.
Yeah.
The craters in your skin, sis. That's vodka. Like, this That's all that is. That's that Stoli and all that cheap shit y'all be drinking. I just really find I'm having real big issues with this season because of I feel like it was such a lack of effort putting these couples together.
It was
such a lack of effort.
It had to be the pandemic.
I don't know what world you thought Eric and Virginia was going to be good for each other. And if the idea was
Haley
they
and
opposites,
Jacob, or Paige and Chris.
But I could see Brianna and Vincent, and I could see Clara and Ryan. Maybe. But my thing is, they would have been the last two that would have been picked.
I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't have put none of these couples together.
I'd have put Brianna and Vincent.
No,
I like them.
I wouldn't.
But I
you like them because they here, but I don't think if you had this process and there was 10 other applicants, I don't think you would have did it.
I'm gonna write a book, and I need my girlfriends to bust it down because I be making wives out of hoes. Y'all, if you come to me and ask me some advice, I'm gonna get you to be a wife. You better ask my girlfriends. They already know. I'm telling you. I'm telling them like 3 for 3. So y'all better be out there letting them know. I know I could do this, babe. I know deep down I could get these hoes together. Well, I need a boot camp. Cause your hoes is dumb. And I'm really tired of watching stupid the issue I'm having with this is that I like to watch people fall in love. I watched the dating show, Single. You remember the first date show you didn't like because it made you uncomfortable? On Netflix.
Oh, the dating around show?
Dating around. I watch everything about love. Because I love love. And I love to see people ascend in that. And it's just like, this has been so bottom of the barrel. It
has. But my thing is,
so bottom of the barrel.
It's not even their fault.
But it feel like easy. A lot of the issues that they're having are so trivial.
But it's also stuff that is avoidable. It is avoidable, right? Like we talk about the age gap. We talk about Paige being with a dude who was engaged with somebody else and got
y'all could have just avoided that.
That's what I mean. Like in regular life, these issues are avoidable. That's why I bring it back to production because they're not having regular. We're used to talking about regular, smegular relationship issues that just happen to everyone in its life. We're not talking about that this season.
We're talking about how people are ill prepared to even be in this situation.
And we talking about stuff that could have been avoided on paper. Period. Purely on paper. Like,
and Pastor Kyle sitting there with the...
what? What?
Who picked them then, Pastor Kyle?
Why y'all keep doing this?
Who picked these people?
Y'all not going to keep doing my head.
How you surprised?
Tell me it's raining. It's ridiculous.
Let's get to Paige and Chris and then get the hell out of here.
Well, it ain't much to say. Listen, the chickens is coming home to roost. This is another thing that we said was going to happen. He was going to try to blow this thing up as fast as he could and get back home. I said that. You can rewind the tape.
Get back home.
I said he was trying to get out. He was trying to do his thing, get his publicity, get back home. And
I don't even know how this human being got past these people.
Because ratings.
I don't know.
Because ratings. That's how he got past. He got past because Lifetime, Pastor Kyle, Dr. Pepper, the Spanish chick, they all knew about all of this wild stuff that's been going on behind the scenes. They knew about it. And you can't tell me. I found out very easily with a 15-minute Google search. I found a lot of information out.
15
minutes. By myself. So it's no way that you're going to tell me in this age of social media and Me Too and Nazi parties and racist stuff and the Proud Boys that they're not doing deep dive searches to make sure that they bringing the right type of people on. You can't get me to believe that Chris pulled a fast one on the entire network and cast and crew and production. It's not possible. This is ratings, and they're bringing the fiance on because of ratings. That's the thing. And her social media pages was wiped off and all of that because they had to have a conversation. If this was supposed to be happenstance and the baby just popped up and now you have a baby and now you have a fiance, let's bring her on. Like if this all just happened spontaneously, why was her Instagram and all of that wiped off before week 1 even happened? She disappeared and all of that because they wanted the reveal to be on the show. This is ratings. This is a produced drama is all I'm saying with the whole.
It's very
Love and hip hop.
But you know what? It's very love and hip hop. But you know what else is bothering me, babe? And this is taking it back. This just popped up in my head. I also am feeling a light undertone of microaggressions throughout this season, more than I've ever felt when it comes to black and brown people and everything like that. Jacob said something this episode. He called he went into, and this might have been a joke, and y'all tell me if I'm overthinking this. I just thought it was weird. So he goes into Haley's closet. Haley got some kind of outfit in it, and he like, oh, this look like a Karen outfit, right? That didn't bother me. And then she was
That's
like,
funny to me.
I thought it was funny, but this was what he said. She was like, "Are you calling my mama Karen?" And he was like, "Well, you know, it does look a little bit Karen." She was like, "Well, why would you call that?" He was like, "Well, I think we all have a little bit of Karen in us in our older age." And I'm like, "What is that supposed to mean?"
That means
you get more racist in your older age.
No.
Yo, I mean, I could be overthinking it. Don't laugh.
Yeah, I didn't thought that. I
just think it's microaggression.
I thought he was being a transparent Caucasian person saying like, we got to look at ourselves.
Okay.
That's how I took it.
Okay.
I thought he was being responsible about
by
his
saying
actions
like,
and
this is a real.
We do Karen stuff.
Okay.
As it being a part of white privilege, like we to me it came across as somebody saying like, I participate in white privilege without even knowing. I think we all do.
Okay.
That's how I took it. I could have been wrong.
Okay. I'll take that though, because I like that. That's a better look at it. However, I'm just over this whole, I'm saying that to say, I feel like the way that this whole season is being produced is not in a manner that's conducive to healthy, loving relationships.
No, not at all.
And I'm trying to understand what exactly Lifetime is getting at. This is a successful show.
I think they...
And I know I watch it for the love aspect of it. Like, the greatest part about last season was Woody and Amani.
Yes.
And the other boy, Bennett and Amelia. Why? Because you could tell that they were actually growing something. Right?
I think they panicked. I think they panicked because the pandemic hit and they like, what we gonna do?
Let me tell you
we
something.
Losing money. We need ratings. They like make the most fucked up
Who
season
was the
we can have. I don't know.
Last year was the Monstars. This year is the little alien. You remember when the
aliens? Yeah.
When they all little and stuff like that. Because I don't know where y'all got this D Squad from. But these are like,
squad. They was the only people available.
I really believe, honest to God, that the only people that would have actually been picked for this process was Clara and Ryan, Eric alone, Brianna and Vincent. I believe they would have picked them anyway. And honestly, that's it. Y'all threw a 40-year-old man in there. Why? Like, you know what I mean?
Why?
And I mean that respectfully. Why? You know what I mean? I don't think any of these other people. Haley didn't. Why is she even here? She don't want to be here. It's very clear.
Virginia don't want to be here.
Virginia don't want to.
If you was going to,
Virginia's an alcoholic. She got bigger issues. I think she want to be here. I don't think she know where she want to be. I think she was drunk when she filled the bitch out.
And that's just being honest. She probably was.
But I'm just really tired, and I'm also very tired of Paige. I'm tired, and I've been trying to give Black Girl the benefit of the doubt because she brand like this, not like this, and I've really been hanging on. You know what I mean? Just like waiting for some redemption. But Mother needs Iyanla. Like, somebody got to come in and fix her goddamn life. Because this bitch is slow.
Yeah, and I mean, it's bigger issues here. It's way bigger issues
It is bigger issues here. And y'all are going to ruin this young... First of all, she's ruining her own life. She's sitting on the camera. This means sit up in your raggedy, ugly face. And I mean that respectfully. He done told you he don't like you. He done laid you down, spread you wide, told you to your face that you wasn't cute. And you still
and that his other woman was cute, and he was thinking about her.
He ain't used to people like you.
He used to people, and he was thinking about.
No, he in love with her.
He in love with her, to your face.
To your face. And then when asked by Pastor Kyle, you know, what would you do? You still want to stay in this relationship? You couldn't give a definitive no.
She sounded like Donald Trump trying to answer questions about Russia.
No definitive no's? What?
She like, I guess so. I guess we gotta get a divorce. Cause Chris is ready to leave. That's why you gotta get a divorce.
But you know what? Jazz said this yesterday, and I thought, you know, she was saying how like she was making reference to the fact that she cloaks a lot of her decisions in the Lord and in the church, whenever the case may be. But in this space, how she's relying on that as the reason why she should stay in a situation is unhealthy. It's unhealthy because that don't have nothing to do with why you should stay in this situation. You still have the spirit of discernment. Yeah. And the fact that in your stomach, in your toes, in your ears, you can't feel that this mother jumper ain't for you, don't want you, never liked you, don't want good for you, and you would still want to be around him, breaks my heart. I don't know who raised this young woman. And I really, and what's very clear is that she's never had a man that was good to her in her life.
Oh, yeah, that's never very clear.
I mean, never. And I will put money on it. I will put money on it. Because I could never, you couldn't, first of all, you couldn't even sit up in my face and tell me to shush. That's the type of I am. If you even, me, we can never talk to, we ain't talking ever again in life. And I'm loud. So it's like, you know what I mean? I don't understand how you could be in a situation like this.
Low self-esteem.
With this, and he ain't even.
Low self-esteem is how you can be in a situation like this.
The issue I'm having is that he ain't even worth nothing. He ain't even.
It's not about him for her. It's about the aspect of having somebody.
It ain't.
And she had somebody that was given to her, forced on her by this process. And so she's like, I gotta hold on to this process. It feels like she feels that this is the best that she can do, and she gotta stick around for it. After the baby, after the comments, after all of the stuff that's been going on, it feels like she feels like, well, this is what she feels is her worth. Like she feels like,
absolutely,
I gotta stick around for this because I don't know that if I'm in the real world that I can get something better.
But the fact that there's no red flags going off anywhere is the most disheartening thing to me. I think that like the fact that you sat and passed the cow face and said you had sex with this man multiple times, and a grown ass man turned around and asked you why. If he told you that, why would you continue to? And you felt like you had a duty. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Like, I mean, like, no, and I'm not playing, y'all. I'm not even mad at Chris no more. Because he's going to be whoever he is. The problem is that I don't even want to call her not strong. She don't even have the tools to be strong. I'm trying to figure out how you even got to this stage in your life, honey. I'm trying to figure out how you got here.
Well, we need to bring Iyanla on for the next episode. Maybe they need to do that instead of bringing the fiance on, which y'all didn't need to do. Let this girl have her baby.
Why would y'all dare bring the fiance on?
I'm gonna answer you. Ratings, but you didn't need to do that. You would have got better ratings going ahead and bringing Iyanla on. Ain't she part of the network? Don't she get a contract with Lifetime?
She do. She's
it's the same thing to me.
Is it?
It might as well be owned in Lifetime. Bring her on. Have her sit Paige down. You get the same ratings, if not better ratings, than if you bring the fiance on. And because the fiance is just it's just turning it into Maury. The Lifetime, this Love Married at First Sight has never turned into Maury. Now we Maury. We Jerry Springer. Bring out the fiance. Like, what's happening? Why are we doing this? This has never happened in history of Married at First Sight. And this is the pandemic episode. This is the pandemic season. Like, this is for ratings.
Imagine being grown and a man that you decided you ain't even going to deal with no more. New situation. And now this make me side-eye that bitch too. And I really ain't had no word for her because this really ain't had nothing to do with her. She ain't even on the show.
Who are you talking about? She ain't on it too.
But that's what I'm saying. Now it make me side-eye her because what type of dirty dog ass is you that you feel like, what would y'all possibly have to talk about?
What do y'all
have to talk about?
This is for publicity.
But you know what? We ain't even get there yet, so I ain't gonna get too turned up about it. But all I'm gonna say is, I
told you so. That's what I want to say.
We're gonna need y'all to bust down in the comments. Talk a whole lot of mess.
But did I not say this that was gonna happen?
I got a headache.
I said this was gonna happen. I said that this was gonna happen.
I'm really disappointed. Bust down in the comments. Let us know how y'all guys are feeling about this. We gonna hang on. So long as y'all hanging on with us, we gonna hang on. Let us know if it's something else we need to be watching because I'm getting very turned off.
Well, we already started watching
Temptation Island.
Temptation Island. We got to catch up.
It's actually really good.
We're going to catch up to the new season because we started on season 1. But we got to talk about Temptation Island next.
I'm just over these mother jumpers, and but I'm not over y'all. We're not over y'all.
No, we'll be back.
We'll be next week. Okay, so thank you guys for joining us again, and I hope you guys are with this and are feeling it. Bust down, subscribe to this channel right now, and hit that bell so you get all the notifications when we load. And I guess we'll see you beautiful mugs later.
Peace.
Bye.